So long, later. This is video 3. Excuse me, video 2. Anyway, so as we said, okay, so when he's sworn in, we can still build the Green Party, okay? That's going to help reparations. It's going to help rebuild the environment. It's going to help bring greater peace, harmony, right? Greater global networking, right? And as we said, the reparations can for the African American population by restoring the socioeconomic structure in those communities, right? And by utilizing that money to invest in Africa, build that infrastructure, that money can be portions of that money can be returned home and help the greater American good, right? Because it will help the African American, help the economy in America by helping those who are disenfranchised, okay? Socially and economically, right? Okay, so and as we said, it will build up Africa's infrastructure, right? And placing the natural resources in the hands of the African people, okay? Which it also the Khazar, Gog and Magog, Khazar, Israeli imposter abomination. Or abomination is trying to grab up African land, okay? Because in Ethiopia they're trying to buy up all the farmland, right? There's going to be more Ethiopians starving, right? And more the more they attack what's that place? Land, that nation, Somalia. The more they attack Somalia, it's going to be more starvation, right? Okay, so anyway, so when you think of the Vatican, think of Palestine, I mean Israel. When you think of Israel, think of the Vatican. They're one and the same, okay? And they both control, Israel would just let going by the title of Israel, just lets the Vaticans out of the box where they don't have to control themselves. They don't have to stay in this image of this holier than thou Vatican image kind of, crap. They can kind of come out and just live like, it kind of frees them up not to live so appear under the guise of so monastically, right? Okay, but it's a bunch of bullshit. Okay, so as we said, Israel is the same, and America pays. That's why when Obama went to the Vatican, he gave them the seeds, right? Because of he basically works for the Vatican. Okay, because they helped him support all those corporations that donate money to special interest groups, that donate money to the political campaign. They are buying, of course, the influence and control over American government, right? So when they support those candidates, right? Then they are paying for the candidates to support whatever initiative they are trying to get passed, right? So Obama was owned by the special interest group, Zionist special and Khazarian interest groups, and so was Trump, and so was Hillary. Trump is so far up the butt with the banks. He's impaled up his ass. He's impaled. The banking system is impaled up his ass. So if you think he's going to be any different, he's going to be the hardest one of all, because his life depends on it. His economic life depends on dependency to the banks, okay, to bail, to the Vatican, okay, to the Jesuits banking system, to Israel, okay. So therefore, they that is the special interest groups, okay. The IDF, I think that's not the IDF. It's a DO, not the DAA. It's APAC, right? Okay. So he's going to do the war for them. He's going to do all that. He's going to try to get Yemen. He's going to try to give them Syria. He's going to try to give them Iran. He's going to try to give them Yemen. He's going to try to do all that. So humanity, you better be careful. Be prepared. Okay? Because the Vatican is behind all this bullshit. the terror strikes, all of that, 9/11. The Vatican is synonymous with, okay, Israel. When you think of the Vatican, think of Israel. When you think of Israel, think of the Vatican. They're one and the same. Okay? So he's going to do war. They will continue to do. Those who are funded by AIPAC and the special Khazarian interest groups, they're going to do the will of the Vatican. They're going to do the will of... so every policy they make for Americans is going to be on behalf of Israel, on behalf of the Vatican. Right? Israel is the Vatican is the whore mother, and Vatican and Israel is the demon seed, right, of the whore mother, right? Okay, and the seed of humanity is going to be pulled. They want to pull the seed of humanity out of Palestine and implant in Palestine the seed of the Khazarian Gog and Magog, right? Demon seed, right? Of the beast, right? Okay. Okay, so when America's borrowing money from the Federal Reserve, they're borrowing money from Israel. And they're borrowing money from Israel to fight the wars for Israel. So American children, American citizens, American people will have to pay that money back, and their sons and daughters are going to war for that, right? Right. All of that migration out of Palestine, all the migration out of Syria, all of the migration that's going to be coming out of Somalia, all of the migration that's going to be coming out of Ethiopia due to all these wars is due to the Vatican. The Vatican's sitting back all quiet, like it's so innocent, not mumbling a word. Oh, just care. Oh, got to clean up the media. Oh, got to clean. No, now he want to clean up the media. No, what he's on the down low trying to say is got to clean up the internet. Okay, can't let them touch the internet, or they already have CNN, they already have Fox News, they already have all their bullshit channels. Leave the internet a goddamn alone, right? Okay, so that's all he can pretend like he's going to do is clean up the poopy scoopy internet. I mean, the poopy scoopy media, reporting all the negativity in the media, and when they're behind all of it. Don't believe those devils. They are devils. Don't believe them. Okay. Okay. So that's what we have today. Okay. And now, so every policy they make is for the interest of Israel. Social policies for the interest of Israel. Welfare policies for the interest of Israel. Humanitarian policies for the interest of Israel. Everything has to be geared toward the interest of Israel. Right? Okay, so everything in it is the policy. The Vatican basically gives out policy to America through the Rothschilds, right? Okay, because that's the spiritual branch, right? So it's been ordained by God, right? Because that's who they're supposed to represent, right? They're Antichrist God. Okay. So the Vatican is, and that's who all Americans are bonded to, right? Through their birth certificate. They're owned and operated by the Federal Reserve System, through which are bonds to the Federal Reserve, right? So they're owned. They will be owned by Israel. Okay, humanity will be owned by Israel if they try to reconstruct Babylon 2. If you let them reconstruct Babylon 3, but again, we pray to Allah's dead on arrival. Okay. So Americans, so all American presidents are the only ones only doing what they are told when the House is giving Israel foreign aid, foreign military, or let them do whatever they want, whatever if the UN says they can't do it and they do it anyway, let them act as pirates above the law, confiscating others' natural resources and destroying their land and killing their people. Pillaging and plundering, right? And land grabbing, right? Is what the Vatican does, right? I mean, the Vatican was the ones who initiated the holding people in bondage, in captivity, and using them as slaves. They're the ones who initiated that. This whole from 1492, since the since the, let's say, the Reformation of the church, okay, they have been putting humanity through no, not the Reformation, the Inquisition. The Inquisition, they've been putting humanity through hell. First they did it in World War II with the Jews. Now they want, and first they did it by trying kicking Muslims and Jews out of Spain, right? And or putting them through the Inquisition, right? Well, the same thing they're doing now. The World War II was a continuation of the Inquisition. World War III will be a continuation of the Inquisition, right? All these terrorist attacks, all this 9/11 is the same thing of the Inquisition. It's the Vatican that is behind it all, just as they were during the Inquisition. So the Vaticans had started the enslavement of African people, just like the dividing of the African nations, right, to build up, let's say, Vatican wealth, right? Okay. Okay. And the snatching of this land and what happened to the Native Americans and all of that, right? All since you know, like I said, the Inquisitions, all wars, all inhumanity, man's inhumanity to man is behind the Vatican. Now they want to transfer that power, that ability to their whore, demon seed, Khazar, Gog and Magog abomination. Okay, an Israeli imposter. So American presidents, as we said, are doing what they are told, and protecting Israel, the demon seed Israel of the whore Babylon, right? So they're doing Israel's foreign policy, and that is they're doing what they were told, constructed to do, be the military branch to kill all threats to physical or spiritual threats to the demon seed Israel, of the demon seed of the whore of Babylon, right? Okay. Now, because this program addresses spiritual, political, and the events that are going on in the world today, right? And explains, this is Revelations explained, right? On the Jackson's Green Ark, right? The light is aboard, got Jackson's Green Ark. You'll get good light here in Jackson's Green Ark, okay? Give you the light to see exactly what you need to see, okay? Inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so you have a better, safer, happier, healthier life. Okay? Now, so they're doing Israel's dirty work. They're doing the Vatican's dirty work. The Vatican Israeli dirty work. Okay? The Vatican Israelis dirty work. That's what America is doing by doing all the killing and all the murdering. If you think that karma is not going to come back, it's going to come back to America. And that's what the Vatican Israel is hoping for, that all the ill deed that the Vatican did since the Inquisition will come to America. No, inshallah, Allah send that to Vatican Israel. Okay? Now, all that bad karma that Vatican Israel did, Khazarian Israel did since the Inquisition, let it go back to Vatican Israel, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? Now, while, so they're doing Israel's foreign work, okay? And giving Israel money at the same time, right? That's further putting people in debt. In fact, Obama gave Israel reparations for being said to have been, after World War II, what happened in World War II, but he didn't give African people in this country not a goddamn thing, okay? In fact, African people were being killed on the street, okay? By a brutal Khazarian Vatican foreign policies for America, right? To create civil war in America, okay? By killing as we said, black people on the street, many African people on the streets, and just police brutality, okay? And arming the police, police as it was a paramilitary group, right? Against the citizens, right? The nation, the inhabitants. Okay. So while slipping into the what are we saying? While dipping into the whale wall. Oh, okay, and that's what they're doing, creating greater while they are causing all this terror attacks and all these wars. They're creating many trails of tears, right? Trails of tears in Afghanistan, trails of tears in Pakistan, trails of tears in Indonesia, trails of tears, and just all over the world. Because anywhere there's a Muslim that's La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah being said, they want to strike because it's a spiritual threat to the beast, right? Because it's putting positive energy into the universe, right? Okay, into the world, onto the planet. So they're creating all these trails of tears and all this debt, right, in the American people, right, to pay Israel's debt as she borrows it more and more from the you know, as Americans, our youth is caused to borrow more and more to educate themselves, and they can't even find jobs, right? And further debt and financially, because they don't have enough money to pay their daily living expenses, right? So so America's being destroyed through debt and war and social unrest and a declining economy, right? And a failing dollar. But they want to teach you, oh, the only thing you got to worry about is ISIS. ISIS. Keep an eye on ISIS. Their own invention of the a paramilitary proxy army, right? Okay. That's been created by Vatican Israel, right? Who worships ISIS but the Vatican, right? Okay, so they want America to continue borrowing money from the American. Oh, and they want to keep taxing American, American wealth, right? American, their income. They want to keep taxing them by making them borrow and borrow and borrow more money, right? To pay, as we said, to pay their daily just to pay for their daily lives, their daily sustenance, right? Just to survive, they have to borrow, even from the check into loans, right? Loans into checks, or what do they call that? Those payday advance places. Everybody's living off of debt. Everybody's living off of thin air, right? Created by the Vatican, or the Lords of London, who control the Vatican. Because the Lords of London control the Vatican controls Israel. Israel controls America. So we have a cycle going on here. They control all three branches, right? The whore is the mother, which is Vatican. Demon seed is Khazarian Israel. Khazarian demon seed controls the military branch, which is America, right? Okay, through the Lords of London, right? Okay, and the Vatican also created the UN. So whenever the UN puts any territory under its UN whatever, okay, it's putting it under the Vatican, okay, under Israel, right? Okay. People who can barely afford, so they're taking money from the American people to pay for Israel, right? Through debt, right? Despite Americans can't even afford to barely take care of themselves, right? Pretty soon America's going to be looking like a famine Ethiopia or a famine Europe, right? Pretty soon they're going to do that. And who's going to be around to help Americans? Who's going to help you out when you're down? Russia? And I'm not saying that to say Russia's bad, but Russia got things of its own to do. Who's going to help you? England? Europe? Most of the countries are poor now. Okay, they're having financial difficulties. So who's going to help America? Okay, so America needs to take care of what it has. It continues to have its infrastructure, its peace among its citizens, its system of transferring government. It still has a unified economy. It still has a unified language. So you need to take care of what you still have. and work together to keep your nation going. And build a Green Party. Support the Green Party, okay, that supports all of Americans, the world, and the environment. Okay, every community. Okay? Now, so they want America to fight the wars and tax them their money and take their money and pay for the wars and pay them money and let their sons and daughters die for Vatican Israel, right? To protect, as I said, the demon seed, Vatican Israel, of the Khazarian nation. Okay? Khazarian Israel, Israeli abomination, is to be safe at all American costs. So Israel, the proxy army for Israel, ISIS is Israeli Service Intelligence, is Israeli Intelligence Service, right? So, Israel got this proxy army to continue to be the boogeyman that scares Americans into sending their sons and daughters into killing themselves, okay, into war, right? And then they come back to America with all these problems with depleted uranium in their blood, in their bones, in their body, and then the cycle continues, right? Okay. That America pays the price. America pays the karma. America pays the glowback. Okay? America's, okay, because Vatican chickens are coming home to America to roost, because that's what they've been trained to do. Okay? To come home to America to roost. Okay? That's the navigational orientation they've been, the karma, Vatican karma have been given since what? Since, the Inquisition, return to America. For slavery, return to America. Okay? For World War I, return to America. For World War II, all of that. Okay? Karma that the Vatican done since the Spanish Inquisition come to America, right? Do you really want that? Can you afford that? Do you not think it's time to come out the whore? She's already trying to have that demon seed, the abomination, Khazarian abomination, Vatican abomination. Are you willing to support that? Ask yourself, and the city of in a nation of antimatter, right? Okay, and we've already talked about that. And if you need to know what antimatter is and what it does, go to CERN. Okay, go to CERN. We already talked about that. Or view the other videos. What matters and don't matter. Okay, what matters and what does not matter. What antimatters. Okay, consciousness that matters and consciousness that does not matter. Okay, see that video and you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, so America is to keep Israel safe, the demon seed safe at all costs. Okay, to herself. Okay, it is to use the proxy army ISIS. It's to support the terrorist attacks on America. It's to support the false flags. America is to support all of that to protect Israel. Okay, and the Khazarian fake fake Israeli Khazarian nation, right? Okay, so the Babylonian Vatican is passing off its power to its demon seed, Khazar Israel, the Khazarian Israeli abomination. That is where the winds of change is trying to return to go to. Okay, they're trying to rebuild and reconstruct Babylon, because Babylon, okay, 2 was the Vatican. Babylon 3 and Babylon 2 is the whore. Babylon 3 is going to be the seed of Babylon 2. Okay? And that's what they're trying to make Babylon 3. So, mashallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah let Babylon 3 be DOA, dead on arrival. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, don't let them take Jerusalem. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect Somalia. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect Yemen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect Iran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect Iraq. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect Syria. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroy ISIS. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep the dumb old drunk a lame duck. Oh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect all of humanity and let him be a lame duck. Only a lame duck. And let's build the Green Party while this lame duck sits out his lame duck term in office. Okay? That is what we do. Prepare for 2020 and let him prove let the lame duck, the dumb old lame drunk, okay, duck, prove himself to be exactly what he is, a warmonger, a drunk, a lame duck impaled on Babylonian policy. Okay? So inshallah, 2017, January 20th, 2016, or excuse me, January 20, 2017. Oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, let the lame duck begin. Let the lame duck begin as he impales himself on the, as he's impaled by Vatican, Khazarian Vatican, Israeli Gog and Magog, abomination, the policies of the, as he's impaled with the policies of the Gog and Magog, okay, Vatican, Khazarian, Israeli abomination. Okay? And Allah protect all of humanity. Alright? So, happy, joyous Gemini full moon. Alright? Joyous Gemini full moon. I'm glad you tuned in to Jackson's green arc of consciousness Salam alaikum to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Salam alaikum to Hamza. Salam alaikum to Ummah. Salam alaikum to all the martyrs. Salam alaikum. And first one from me, of course, Mikhail Joseph Jackson. Okay, because this is his green arc. Okay, his green arc of consciousness, which was dedicated to him, of course, the legacy. Okay, because the green arc is following the divine legacy. So, that being said, we always say Salam alaikum to the legacy that inspired the green arc. Okay, the birth of the delivery of the green arc. Okay, so Salam alaikum. Joyous new moon. Okay, so joyous new moon. I hope we all have a wonderful Gemini full moon.